Hello everybody and welcome back to my Neopets fan fiction. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Has there been a better monitor behind this one the whole time? Hello everybody and welcome back to youtube.com, a website made by fish for fish. If you've seen any of my videos, then you've pretty much already seen this one. The difference is in this video, the words I say are going to be a little bit different.
Are you going to do this video for me? That's what I thought.
It's a shoe, and it says, "What are that?" If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I have the attention span of a 9-year-old, and all of that filming yesterday was just too much for me to take. So I took a little break, and here I am today with a fresh start at 3:54 p.m. It's a beautiful, cloudy day outside, making for some fantastic lighting. Anyway, stick around because I'm going to show you guys how to become famous on Instagram. For me, this all started about a week ago. Someone on my Instagram DMs told me to check out the So Innocent Parent page that has 3.5 million followers. And at first, I was confused. I was like, why? What's so special about them? Their account's private, so I have to request to follow, and I don't really want to follow if I don't have to. I followed up on it though. I requested to follow them. A couple hours go by and they accepted me. I was looking at their page, and for the most part it's like 2/3 of their posts are screenshots from their Twitter. The joke of their Twitter is that it's usually from like a dad's point of view, where it's like, my kids are doing this thing that's obviously sexual, but I'm innocent and dumb, and so I don't realize that it's sexual. But they're like so there's like they're like too much. Like, my daughter always tells her boyfriend how wet she got. Why doesn't she just invite him to the beach when she goes? It's so cringy. My daughter goes to the bathroom with her BF when they're out in public. They're in there for hours. I hope she's not constipated. My son's girlfriend said she liked his meat. I didn't know my son wanted to become a chef. Yeah, so this page is really funny. But like I said, that's 2/3 of their posts. The other third is just memes, is just general memes. Like this, when your parents pick you up early from a sleepover and the dog is mad. Okay, I'm starting to understand why they have such a juvenile sense of humor. Here's a meme. When you only been alive for a month, but you already fed up with the world, and it's a little baby, he's upset. I'm mad at the world, but I'm a baby. And then the caption says, me. So I get it now. The reason these are so bad is because a 1-month-old child is the one posting these. But good for him for having such strong business sensibilities. He's making bank on this, but we'll get to that later. So I looked through the page and, I saw stuff like this, and I was like, yeah, this is stupid, but it's not really worth making a whole video about. They're just dumb memes. But really what's interesting about this page, and this is something I didn't notice until I was following them for a couple of days, but they do these shout outs for all these other meme pages. And the reason you don't see them when you scroll through is because they're only up for like an hour or two. So the thing that these pages all have in common is that they're private. You have to request to follow them. Now, at first glance, at least for me, this seems counterintuitive, right? If your goal as a meme page is to get as many followers as you can, which is the only goal for these people, get a lot of followers, make money from it, then why would you create like an extra step needed for people to follow you? But it actually has the opposite effect. People want to follow you more because you're private. It creates this illusion of exclusivity where it's like a club you want to be a part of, but they're not letting you be a part of it. And deep down, you don't even really want to be a part of the club. You just want to at least be invited to it, Like, you don't want to feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I join your club? And they're like, oh, you just don't belong in here. And you're like, yeah, I do. I'll do anything to prove that I can be in your club. Please let me in your club. And then you finally get in the club and you realize that the club is just a bunch of shitty memes and there's no people in there, and it's not really a club because it's an Instagram page, and all of this was just a metaphor. And so maybe you're thinking, well, this isn't that surprising. It's interesting to me, but maybe it's not to you. But it keeps going, right? It's not just like a couple pages sharing followers with like shout-outs and stuff. Several times a day I see another shout-out for a different page. So Innocent Parents shouted out Couples Note. Couples Note shouted out Foodies, the teaser for which was just Foodies crushes all sorts of food. Check it out. But it's, you go to Foodies and fuck, they're private. I gotta follow in order to see them. And then, you come just to see them crush Pringles. You stay for shout outs of other pages. They also shouted out Call of Body. Follow for more sexual explicit content. Ooh. If I'm a little 10-year-old, which I am, then I'm intrigued by that. I want to follow them. I'll look both ways to make sure my mom's not standing over my shoulder, but I want to follow to see more sexual explicit content. So then you go to Call of Body and you got a request. And I notice here they're followed by So Innocent Parent and Couples Note. So to me, that means they're all owned by the same person. So then Call of Body, this new page I followed, shouted out, yearbook tweet. OMG yearbook tweet, post the most hilarious senior quotes. Hurry, because they're only accepting the next 500 requests. They're not accepting all requests. Their goal isn't to amass as many followers as possible. It's only to amass 500 more. Like, they have 740,000, but they're only accepting the next 500. So you better hurry up and follow. Don't even think about it. Don't stop to think about it. Don't hesitate. And look at that. They're followed by Call of Body and So Innocent Parent. Then So Innocent Parent shouted out Vine failures. Follow Vine failures to see more. Click on Vine failures. Oh, what do you know? They're private. Gotta follow. Then Couples Note shouts out @Clips. Follow @Clips to watch all this mind-blowing science experience. And then you go to Clips, and guess what? Clips is fucking private too. Do you see the theme here? Do you see what's happening? They're locking people in because if you want to see any of their content, you have to subscribe, you have to click follow. And most people don't unfollow. Maybe they do eventually, but they probably don't right away because they're part of this exclusive club. It's not exclusive. Anyone can be a part of it. They probably even have like a bot that accepts requests for them so they don't have to manually go through and click their screen literally 3 million times. Now Call of Body is shouting out @Goals. Follow Goals. It's the #1 freakiest page. Gotta follow them. I mean, you follow Call of Body for some sexual explicit content. You have to follow @Goals now. You click on @Goals. Oh look, they're private. Got a request to follow. Here's another one. Couples Note. Follow @TheLoverSayings. I know I'm being repetitive at this point, but it's just fascinating to me how many pages there are. I thought it was just a couple, but every day it's like, there's another page, and then that page shouts out this other page, and I think they're all owned by the same person, or maybe it's just they do shout out for shout out. They've all got similar following. So let's expand on this page a little bit. Here's another page that So Innocent Parent shouted out. Everyone go follow LOL Admits, the #1 page on Instagram. I don't know what that means, #1. What does #1 mean? The best? The most followers? It's not the most followers. They've only got 4.3 million. Hurry before they go private. Now this page actually isn't private, but by saying hurry before they go private, it's like I gotta follow them now because if they go private, they won't accept me. I mean, they have 4.3 million followers. Surely they don't have room for more. No, they have room for as many people their bot can click accept on their request. I mean, but these are really funny. I mean, look at these. Like, admit it. You closed the fridge door slowly to see when the lights go out. Admit it. You never actually read the terms and conditions. Like the most boring, obvious stuff, like, yeah, like people admit it. You've done this normal thing that everyone has done. Come on, like, hey, buddy, you can be honest with me. You've accidentally pushed a door that said pull once, right? Come on, you can be honest with me. We're friends. Don't give me that look. And here's something else they put on a couple of these. It's almost like they know that people are annoyed when they post all these shout outs, because these, so far, following So Innocent Parent, all I've seen is shoutouts for other pages. I don't even see their own posts. They say on some of these shoutouts, this other page doesn't post shoutouts. I know how you're annoyed with this page posting shoutouts, so follow this other page that doesn't post shoutouts. What they do post is just boring ass memes. The most boring memes you could think of. To me, it's obvious that Couples Note and So Innocent Family and a couple of these others are all owned by the same person because they're literally just copying and pasting these shoutouts. And it's probably they're just shouting out their own pages to spread the wealth, but not really spread the wealth because they're just, all the wealth is theirs. Whatever. This person has a lot of money. I don't know how much. I honestly don't know how much, but I know they have a lot of money because they're not just doing this for fun. They're not doing this because they just like the attention. They're doing this because they can make money off it. And if you don't believe me, let's go to LOL Admits page, the page I've hyped up quite a bit. Now, the first thing you'll see in their bio, they're the funniest post on Instagram, credits go to respective owners, and biz DM. So we're going to address all three of those points. #1, funniest post on Instagram. Who remembers Kim Possible? Do you remember Kim Possible? The show? Can we all just take a moment? And then it's a picture of the Drake and Josh cast, but like a few years later, after they stopped filming the show. Who else remembers this episode of Drake and Josh? A lot of just nostalgia so far. And then it's Drake and Josh, they're in the movie theater pretending to be Amish or something. I think I remember that episode. Yes, to answer your questions, yes, I do remember Kim Possible. I do remember Jake and Josh. Jake and Josh. Jake and Josh. That's the future. I wouldn't be surprised if Jake Paul and Josh Peck in the future created their own online series called Jake and Josh, but we'll see. All right, so I think we can cross funniest posts on Instagram off the list. Now let's move on to credits go to respective owners. This is something that a lot of these meme accounts that steal people's memes, they'll say, oh, DM for credit or whatever, but this person didn't even say like DM for credit, just that the credit without even, you don't even have to ask, it will go to respective owners, which I'm gonna go ahead and dispute that 100% now, because I am not skipping a single one of these. I don't see credit in any one of these. So we can cross credits go to respective owners off the list. And the last one, one more thing before we get to Biz DM. Interesting that the other page that was giving them a shout out said this page doesn't do shout outs because their 3 most recent posts are, you guessed it, shout outs. You gotta follow at I'm High Dude. Follow Emojis Journal for the meaning. I gotta follow Emojis Journal because I gotta see what this emoji means. I've been using this emoji before, and have I been using it wrong? I don't wanna be wrong. Follow in 2 seconds to get accepted faster. Only accepting the next 50. It's like I said, it's this illusion of exclusivity. You wanna be a part of this club, you better hit that follow immediately and don't even stop to think about it. And then here's one for at Epic Daily Jokes. Who are these? How are there this many meme pages? I'm only scratching the surface here, and they're all private. It's amazing. As I'm making this video, I'm discovering more about what this video is about, and I love it. We've already debunked the first 2 points that they try to make in their bio, so let's get to the last one. Biz DM. Now, what that means is if you have any business inquiries, as in you want to give this page money to get some sort of service in return, DM them. Now this morning, I had the idea to message them and be like, okay, how much for like a page shout out? Because that's what it seems like you're doing here. No response yet, I'll let you know if that changes. So as of right now, I can't tell you how much LOL Admits is making from this Instagram page, which I remind you, all of these Instagram pages are only posting memes that they get from other websites. I'm perfectly supportive of people who make online content making money off it, but these people don't make content. They make money off other people's. If this doesn't infuriate you, you're not thinking about it correctly. I've gotten into this argument before online. I think it started on Twitter with accounts like Common White Girl and Dory, and if you've been on Twitter, you understand parody accounts. You see them on Facebook, you see them on Instagram, and I think they're dying out on Twitter. But it's these accounts that only steal other people's tweets and jokes and memes and stuff, and they profit off it while the people who make the stuff don't make any money. And I don't think it's necessary to come up with an analogy for this, but that's what I will do because that's how my brain works. Let's say, rather than you're the person who made some video that someone else stole and is indirectly profiting off of, let's say you work at like Dunkin' Donuts, right? And you just worked a 10-hour shift. You worked all day, you're tired, you're just physically exhausted, but you feel good because you worked all day, you're ready to go home and shower and go to sleep. You make $8 an hour, so 10 hours, $8 an hour, that's $80. I feel good, that's gonna go towards my my paycheck, which I'll get this week. You're feeling good, right? And you're about to clock out, and you're saying goodbye to your manager, and then some guy walks in, and he's like, actually, hold on, if I may interrupt, I was the one who worked all day. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And the manager's like, I don't know, let's hear him out. And you're like, what, are you kidding me? And the guy's like, come on, you can trust me, right? And you're like, no, I just met you, why would I trust you? And the manager's like, I don't know, he seems pretty trustworthy. And then the guy's like, well, if I didn't work all day, then how come I'm wearing your uniform? And then you look down and you're just wearing normal clothes now and he's wearing your uniform. And you're like, how did you do that? When did you switch our uniforms? And the manager interrupts and he's like, I don't know, he's got a point. He is the one wearing the uniform and you're just wearing normal clothes. You shouldn't be behind the counter. You're not even wearing a uniform. And you're like, but I worked here. I worked all day with you. You saw me work. And the guy in the uniform that he stole from you is like, I mean, come on, who do you trust? Some guy who's illegally behind the counter, or some guy who's wearing the uniform, right? I've got the name tag, it's your name, but the manager doesn't care anymore because for some reason he's siding with this guy, and the manager's like, you're right. Now that I think about it, I don't remember whose face worked all day, but I do remember that uniform worked all day. And you, sir, he's pointing to you now, you need to get out. And then so you get fired, you get sent home, and you don't get the $80 that you earned that day, rightfully because you worked on it. And the guy who came in and who somehow stole your uniform, gets all the money and credit. It's something like that. Does it make sense now? Or was that completely unnecessary? I love analogies. If you still are siding with the meme accounts whose only work that they actually do is taking screenshots and copying and pasting, then let me show you what it's like to deal with these people. That these are not likable people. For the most part, these are shady people. Like, if your intention in life is to steal other people's stuff and make money off it, you're probably not a very good person. And that's been proven with the couple of interactions I've had with people like this. So I need to move the camera because I didn't take screenshots, but I have these DMs from like a year ago since LOL admits I didn't want to reply. I would like for you guys to be able to enjoy my beautiful paint art without me having to turn the brightness down so much. Anyway, this was March 2016, so this was like a year and a half ago. And I want to paint this in a light where, and you might even side with him, because I did get pretty pissed pretty quick. So I sent him my post, and I was like, you posted my video without giving me credit. Please tag me in it or delete it, thank you. That's what I used to say, but then they'd always just delete it. So then I was like, tag me in it. And I've learned that if you do ask politely, for the most part, they do. I don't think that makes them good people because they're still profiting off other people's content, but you know, sometimes they'll just quickly give you credit and be like, you know, thanks or no problem or whatever, and like, it's fine. That's the whole interaction. But this one, you gotta understand, this was at midnight. The irony is, while this guy's making a bunch of money, I'm working my ass off. I used to work for a set installation company, and that sounds weird, but our entire business, it was like a 5-man operation. Our entire business was just to install local news studios. So we travel around the country, and I'd usually be gone for a couple weeks at a time, like 10 days or so in one place. And the set was already built, and it was shipped there on a truck, and we would put it together. It was a lot of manual labor, carpentry, and then I learned how to like wire like LED lights and stuff. But it was very long days, right? Because it's like, the longer we're here, the more money needs to be spent on us being here. We'd try to get there like 7:30, and we wouldn't leave until like 8 or 9 p.m. sometimes. I think the last day we left at like 2 a.m. And not only that, we were staying at the MGM Grand of all places, which is like the biggest hotel in the world, or one of the biggest hotels in the world. And our room was literally as far away as it could have been. It was like a mile walk to get from our room through the lobby, through the parking garage, to our car, to drive to the studio, work like 12 hours, and we'd come back and we'd have to do it all again, and you'd be walking past all these drunk people in the casino just having a great time, and you're just so tired and miserable. So, I mean, it sounds like fun, right? Vegas, 2 weeks in Vegas sounds fun, except we didn't get to have any fun. We were there for work. So if you can put yourself in my position, I'm someone who's like trying to make vines whenever I can. I'm trying to get like a comedy career going so I don't have to keep doing this, but I'm so exhausted at the end of the day. This was at the end of probably a 12-hour day, and I get back to my hotel room, and someone had tagged me in this, and they're like, hey, they took your video, and so I messaged the guy just like, can you please give me credit? Thanks, just please give me credit, you posted my video. And he said, which video? I sent him the video, and he said, done. And then so I go to the video, and it says credit, Drew is Gooden. He writes out my name. Now, some people would be okay with that. I was like, come on, seriously, you know how the fucking internet works. You just put an at. I know this is from my Vine, but just put at before my name so people can click on it and go to my page. That's not too much to ask. You already wrote out the rest. This is just one more letter you need to write, one more character. Like, even if someone liked that, they're not gonna take the time to type out my name, but if my name's there and it's a clickable link, maybe they'll click on it, right? I mean, he had no problem tagging himself. He used to be at feelings, now he's at yodeling bitch, whatever. So I'm already pissed at this point. It's like, see, like, you're just doing this to piss me off. You stole my shit, you steal people's shit all the time, and you're making money off this. And I'll show you exactly how much money he said he was making in a second, but so I'm pissed already. So then he like threatened to like leave it as it was, like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of, it's like, fine, get rid of my useless credit, whatever. I said, it's weird. You have the ego of someone who actually has talent, but if you did, you would be making your own content instead of posting others. And he's like, do you want me to jack everything you own, or are you going to leave it? So he either threatened to take every Vine I've ever made and post them on his account, which at that point I could probably be like, hey, this dude's impersonating me. Or he was saying he wants to jack everything I own, like he wanted to jerk off every part of my body, which, I don't know, maybe he's into that. But in my head, I'm just like, you know what, Drew, if you just power through this, you actually have talent. You're funny, you can go somewhere with this. He's just some asshole on the internet who steals content. And then he said, I've made over $5K in the last 2 weeks. $5,000 from this account alone. And then he tried to say he's doing me a favor by spreading around my work. Keep in mind, this has what, 37,000 views? This had 10 million loops on Vine. You're not doing me a favor. So he admitted to making $5,000 in 2 weeks off other people's content. So I was like, Wow, fuck you, dude. Either he's lying about that to try to make it seem like he's this badass that makes all this money, or if it's true, holy shit, dude, you're a piece of garbage. You're making a shit ton of money. I mean, if you're making 5K every 2 weeks, that's $10,000 a month. That's over $100,000 a year. Copying and pasting videos and tweets and pictures. That's insane to me. And this is a guy that, keep in mind, he has like 100,000 followers. I don't know, I don't remember how much he had then. These pages with a couple million followers, if that's on a scale, if they can make, they could probably make 5K with one post. More than that, probably. I don't know. I don't really know how it works. They're making a shit ton of money, let me tell you. And if it's all owned by one person, that dude's a millionaire. That dude is a millionaire copying and pasting things that other people say. So if you're still not upset about that, please stop watching my videos because I don't have any respect for you as a human being. If it still doesn't bother you, if you still think that these people are in the right, then you try to say I didn't ask him politely. Even though I was like, you posted my video without giving me credit, please tag me in it or delete it, thank you. Like, if that's not polite, then I don't know what is. Maybe I should offer to jerk off every part of his body. Maybe to him, that's what politeness is. I tell you what, guys, I am fired up right now. I know this has been a long video, and I don't need to apologize that it's still going, because it's like, if you're then just stop watching the video if you don't want to watch anymore. What they always say to do, like when you're anxious or you have a lot of like anger built up, is just like watch something funny, you know, just have a couple laughs. Have some lighthearted laughs. So let's go to LOL Admits. I don't know if you've heard, it's the #1 page on Instagram, the best page on Instagram. So let's go to the best page on Instagram and have ourselves a few laughs. You're trash. Me, bag of trash. That's pretty good. Who remembers playing this game in school? Do you remember playing Heads Up 7-Up? Is that what it was called? I always cheated. That's funny. Me when I'm watching Snapchat in public without headphones. You know when you want to hear something on your phone, but you're in public and it's loud, so you gotta put the phone up to your ear. Clever observations like this one are the ones that make LOL Admits the #1 page on Instagram. The Krusty Krab pizza episode. It's like, it's just a picture from the episode. That's all it is. The conclusion I've come to is all of these memes on the self-proclaimed #1 page on Instagram are nostalgia-driven. They're not jokes. They're just like, you remember that thing that happened? And you're like, yeah, I remember that thing that happened. I'm a human being. You're too young if you don't remember this movie. I rest my case. If I had a gavel, I'd bang it now. What a fun video this wasn't. I kind of lost steam because I got so fired up about the whole stealing content thing. Some people might have found this video boring, and that's fine. But like, this is just something I get fired up about things like this, and I just want to talk about it for 20 minutes, and guess what? I did. That's exactly what I did. Thank you so much to all my little stinkers out there for watching this video. Thank you to the many people who commented saying that that should be the name of my fan base, the little stinkers, and I really like that. So I think it's gonna stick. So thank you all, little stinkers, for following me and sitting through my rants. I hadn't done a rant in a while, so even if this video wasn't that funny, you know, the demand was there apparently to see this kind of video where I just yell at you guys essentially. But you know what? We made it through together, and I feel good. I feel better because of it. One last thing, I know you guys are gonna dislike the video just because of this. I know this seems like a money grab. I've only made like 5 videos, and yet here I am. Get over it. You know, I have rent to pay, I have bills to pay, and I'm not gonna turn down opportunities when they come up. So that being said, this video is sponsored by buttholes.com, the world's first and best website for all things butthole related. I've got a couple ideas for other rant videos I can make, but I don't know if they're worth my time right now. If you don't hear from me for a while, it's because I'm working on something big, or at least just more time consuming, and I won't give out too many hints, but it is maybe another one in the series of 5 days with videos that isn't technically a series yet because there's only the one video, but it is something I'd like to be a series. But maybe that's what's coming next. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if I follow through with that. But yeah, that's it. I always ramble at the end of these. Like, I could just say, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. The little stinkers are the strongest force in the universe, but I don't just say that, I just ramble, because that's what I've already been doing, so I continue to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. One more thing I have to get through, and I'm just kind of reading off the copy they gave me here. Buttholes.com is the best anus-related website money can buy. Buttholes.com is a subscription-based service that delivers 10 of the nicest user-submitted buttholes straight to your door every single day. Up to 3 ethnicities available. Weird, I would have thought. What about more? Are you a fan of A-holes, B-holes, and C-holes? And want to take this to the next level? Then buttholes.com is the website for you. Buttholes.com starts at $9.99 a month, but if you use my promo code butthole, which doesn't seem specific to me at all, then your first 2 months are free. Sign up today. Your eyes and butthole will thank you. It also says they offer family discounts. Jesus Christ, I'm not reading any more of this.